So what's up guys, how you doing? Seiishizo here, another B12, the last one of the B12's dragons, the long awaited one. How do I clear B12 when you already see like, oh, it's a Martina user, so I cannot replicate this team? Don't worry, wait until the end of the video. I'm going over other teams as well, and in this one I'm actually gonna showcase some of the other teams as well, which I didn't do in the other B12 videos. Also, if you haven't yet, check out the description down below. In the description, I have the MB12, the GB12 videos there. Got lots of love on those videos from you guys, so highly appreciated for that. Let's see if we can get as much or even more love on this one by liking, subscribing and commenting whatever you want. If possible, if you have the time to sit back and relax, watch the whole videos. There's some like things in between that I say like that can be useful for you, even if you don't have all of these units. You don't have the Martina, of course, like probably most people don't have the Martina, but there's like just going to the point where I talk about your team that you can miss out like some side information that I talked before, why things are like necessary or important. So this is what my team is currently. It's 39 seconds. It is about 95 to I would say 95% safe. I've seen some fails here and there. It's also kind of dependent like how fast it is depending on the Lushen damage, or not the Lushen damage, the Lushen amputation magic. Of course it clears the whole wave. Yeah, you guys have kind of like been expecting that from me by now, I guess. Sometimes these stages go a little bit wrong, but even if Nungrim and Lushen die, it's still like about 70 to 80% chance that I'll clear the boss with just the three twins. So therefore this team is really good, and I have a mechanic in here which you haven't seen yet in any of the recommended B12 teams, and I think it's insanely good and insanely overlooked. You know that this dragon has like an insane amount of resistance, as you can see here. It's super high. And why do teams like fail? Are we gonna fail here? Nope. This was pretty close though. But why do teams fail is because you don't kill the mid dragon fast enough, the mid boss dragon, or you don't kill like the final boss dragon fast enough. And that's where runs go wrong. So you can add in like a vert lead, a speed lead, that kind of stuff, and then get multiple turns. But if you're not armor breaking, you're just not armor breaking, right? So the most important thing is to land that armor break like we have over there, and then it's just easy peasy, you kill the thing. So let's see, amputation magic, let's see if we can have a clear run. Armor break on the first hit, very nice, very nice. No branding whatsoever. Okay, not the fastest run, but still pretty decent. Also, of course, Martina, it's super OP. Martina, if you have her, it's super OP. Do you have to ruin her just for this dungeon? No, you can use your Siege Martina. That's fast FIO and tanky and that kind of stuff. So 41-second run. I think this could go like down to like about 37, maybe 38 seconds. But it's super like RNG dependent that everything lands. So what is the trick I've been talking about? And that's Nungrim lead, and it's accuracy lead. And I would really encourage everyone to try out accuracy lead in this dungeon. Fuck the speed lead, fuck the attack lead, go accuracy lead. You need to top off so much accuracy on all of your damage dealers, and you're gonna run multiple armor breakers most likely, not just one armor breaker but multiple. And you don't have like one consistent, like if you run a Lorne on max Accy, sure, then you don't really need like Accy lead. But if you run like multiple armor breakers, so for example in this case my Martina and my Sabrina, both of them are not near to like max Accy, but with 26% Accy lead it adds up a lot of stats. So to go over the stats, like for turn order, it's Martina first. I'm not gonna show Martina because we're in the siege tournament and my Martina is of course in siege defense. I can just tell her, or I can tell you, she's really fast, she's really tanky. So after that goes the Lushen. Lushen one-shots the wave with like some decent artifacts. And then it's Nungrim. Nungrim has a nice kit that, of course, like the accuracy lead, I do miss some skill ups. Skill 1 can... Wait, it deflects the damage that ignores all damage reduction effects. Well, there's no damage reduction effect, so this is by itself not that interesting. This one leaves branding for 2 turns, which is really nice. And then this one is, it has a chance to ignore defense. The boss, as you can see, is again has an insane amount of defense, so actually ignoring defense, this thing on weak runes, when he ignores defense, hits as much as a hit of Talia, her 3rd skill. So that's an insane amount of like additional damage. Also because of the triple strike, there's a lot of debuff, so this passive is like increased. Well, Lushen, of course, yeah, already seen that. Then Talia, I made her pretty tanky. I like them like pretty tanky so they can actually survive like a few blasts of the boss. And same for the Sabrinas. So they're just able to survive a few blasts of the boss and that kind of stuff. So this team, the issue is with Lushen, like if Lushen doesn't amputation magic, this team goes really slow and his AI is pretty shit. So actually I've been running this team mainly just to get the fastest time. If like normally I run Raoq on the place of Lushen. I will show that that in a second. And that's just, sure, your fastest time slows down by like, because my fastest time is currently like 39 seconds. I think it can be 38 or even 37. If I do it with the Raoq, it's about 47. So it slows down the waves a lot, but it makes it a lot more consistent to, just in general, it makes the run like, that run is like 99%. Still, these runs, even if things go wrong, the 3 twins are able to clear the dungeon, and that's why the dungeon is built up. Like, technically, I can put anything in Nungrim and Lushen slot, and this team will probably work. However, it does work best with Accy lead, so I'm also gonna go over a few other units that also have the Accy lead, and see how that goes. Also, again, I will be showing a free-to-play version of this after this as well. So with the Raoq is like, this is the same Raoq that's been in the PC team, in the SF team. And sure, like this is a lot slower, of course, but it's a lot more consistent. Like, this is as fast or faster if Lushen doesn't amputation magic. If Lushen had better AI, we'll be using Lushen for sure. But now this, meh. An option is one that I didn't make, and I think, yeah, well, no, that I think it's very, it is very possible. You make Julie into Lushen, so you remove Nungrim and Raoq. Julie is actually a Accy lead as well, which is pretty interesting. I haven't made that team yet. I'll probably showcase it in another video because I don't have that rune up right now. But if you make, let's say, a high damage Julie into a Lushen, and therefore you can like always clear the wave. Wait, I'm just gonna do that. So I just wasted a few mil mana to switch to this because like, hey, why not? So currently Julie has the OP rage set, and then Lushen becomes triple fight, and again I use Accy lead because Julie is actually an Accy lead, and there's a few more Accy leads which are pretty interesting. So of course that still happens, and then that happens. So with that combination you have a more consistent run, and thing is just that the mid-boss stage might be an issue that your twins are not able to clear it up that fast. However, this combination only works, well, don't even do enough damage. Well, you get the point. You get the point. My Lushen is not 100 crit rate. That's probably where it went wrong. But this team is only usable with Martina. I don't think you can replace this. Let's say you don't have a Martina and you use something else there. I think it's highly difficult to do this with one of the other strippers because you need a consistent stripper. And a Lauren, for example, Lauren is not a consistent stripper. So yeah, therefore it won't work. So you need something skill 1 stripping. So what is skill 1 stripping? It's Elsharion, it's Martina, and it's chilling. So I'm gonna do one more run and then I'm gonna go over these other units, like what are the possibilities with those and what would I use with them. But this team is pretty solid, but I wouldn't run it like this, probably not. Like, I still like the non-Grim team with Raoq most, because it's just fairly consistent, and let's say this happens, then it gets like super wonky, and it's pretty much you want to have the most consistent run, and this, like, sure, this will probably still beat it, but it's just not that consistent if you don't clear the mid boss right away. Also, Julie, which is actually interesting for Julie, Julie as one is a strip. So let's say you do use a team like this, and you add in like, you remove the twins, and you add in something that actually brings Julie, and you don't have a Martina. Let's say you bring in like double Raoq, and then maybe even the water Raoq, because the water Raoq also brings units. Wait, you could technically, you could do this team. I think it's not even that bad. This was a really wonky run. I think it's not even that bad to go Julie, Lushen, triple Raoq. Or Julie, Lushen, plus Lauren. Wait, no. So, let me grab like a notepad. Let me grab a notepad. So let's zoom in a bit. Let's run this again on the background. This is a bit of wonky team, but let's say you go Julie. Julie is a stripper, but she's also like a skill 1 arm or a stripper. It's not that consistent, but if you have like team up units, like, okay, Lushen, so that's your wave clear, then you can go Raoq, and you can go add in like a Lauren, so the boss doesn't take a turn. Issue is side crystals on this stage are probably gonna rape you, because Raoq is not gonna do enough damage to actually kill like the crystals. What you could do is water Raoq. It's an option as well that also like armor breaks and that kind of stuff. And because of 30 Accy form, Accy lead of Julie, your Raoqs and water Raoqs skill 1 are super consistent, like 10 times more consistent for actually landing anything. So that's why I highly recommend anyone to, like, if you're building a team and you want a speed team, try the Accy lead, because like some people are like, one Raoq is like 45 Accy, and then one Raoq is like 15 Accy. This Raoq is never gonna land a single freaking armor break, not in a million years. So therefore that team is, for that reason, already pretty shit. So also non-Grim, the 26 Accy, it's so nice. And maybe it's just because I use a Martina, but I do not think so. I do not think so. Okay, so we have that. Let's switch to other teams. What other units, like Chilling? Chilling also has a skills. Boom. Chilling is dungeon. Wait, my notepad is in front of it. Chilling is accuracy lead in dungeons. This is the team with the Chilling, and it works pretty decent, but there's one little thing that can go pretty wrong on this one. And I'll show that to you, like, it will happen at the boss stage. So for like middle stage, everything perfectly fine. Also, preferably you have double Raoq and not crow Raoq, because then the team up just makes more sense. So I don't have a double Raoq, therefore I use this. I still like to use the water twins because they are that tanky that they have the possibility to actually like clear the boss by themselves pretty much. And also they are water element, which just helps out a lot. So this is where things seemingly go really well. Let me pause. Like, seemingly this goes really well, but the issue is the slow debuff. The slow debuff makes that the left tower moves before the boss, and because of the left tower moving before the boss with the slow, this team gets really difficult to pull off, because you just eat a lot more damage, because the dragon actually does more damage while he's like while you have like debuffs on you. So preferably you don't want a slow on you while this is like, first I thought like, oh, Chilling is like a super good unit for this, but then I noticed the slow, and I'm gonna play this one more time on auto. I paused it like the last one. Because of that slow, it actually becomes like pretty risky-ish. So that is an issue. Also, instead of like Raoq, for example, you could also use, or you could use like China, still a decent unit. China also increases the Accy by her passive, so, but that's just for the twins that move with her. But this team is pretty decent. It's not the best in wave clearing, but it's decent at the boss, minus the fact that you're with the slow buff, you're kind of like screwing yourself over more or less. But it's a high damage team, and that definitely helps out a lot as well. And again, you can see like consistently landing all debuffs. It's pretty high for consistently landing the debuffs. Issue is here, however, because it's a Raoq, or it's a Crow and not a Raoq, there was no, it was not stripped. So even like my Crow that's like super low Accy is actually landing stuff here. So that is pretty nice. So if you would remove the, like even if you do chilling for Raoqs is gonna give you consistent runs. But I would personally, if I would use this team, I would probably go chilling, double Raoq, maybe a Crow, and then add in a Lauren or something. So wait, let me write that down for you. So we go chilling for the 40 dungeon, then we go Raoq, maybe a Crow, and then adding a Lauren as last. Crow could also be replaced by Kali, it's an option, but I think Crow is pretty nice. Or the water Raoq, I totally forgot his name. I can check that and pause the video, but I don't want to. But I think this is a pretty good team, and the chilling 40 Accy or the 40 Accy on dungeon is pretty good. Like really, this video I keep saying it, but the Accy leads are so good. Like you saw in that dungeon, all armor breaks are pretty much landing. Like so much stuff is landing, and that just makes things so much easier. Because if you actually check my Raoq, it's just 26, but it's boosted to 66. My Crow is just 8. Well, I would have recommend something more than that. But yeah, it becomes 48, and this one is 45, so it becomes 85. But again, chilling, the slow debuff kind of messes you up because the dragon will do extra damage. Yeah, the damage increases if the enemy is suffering a harmful effect. So you do get a lot more damage. I'm not sure what the multiplier is on that, but you do get a lot more damage if you actually have a harmful effect on your ass. So keep that in mind. Another option. So another option, Elsharion. Elsharion is a pretty legit option as well. Issue, however, you do not see an Accy lead in this team. So that is a pretty big issue. So what can you do about that is you add in Nangrim again. So my Nangrim adds Nangrim. Would you keep in the twins in this setup with Elsharion? No, probably not. Probably I would go like Nangrim, double Raoq, Elsharion plus something. So this team, I haven't run this team. I just switched the chilling runes to Elsharion. Also, Elsharion doesn't have any artifacts as of now. I haven't tested this team, but I think it will work pretty okay-ish. It's not the greatest, but I think the chilling team is still better than this. The chilling team is better than this just because of the Accy lead. You just have to watch out for like, you will get like a hard hit on your ass. But I think this team might be pretty decent as well. But I'm not sure if you would keep twins in here and you would add like double Raoq. But I don't have double Raoq, so can't really test that. Also not planning to make a Raoq anytime soon because using my crystals for getting more runes. So yeah, here in this team, like the thing is without a Martina, if units die, it's a lot more painful. With Martina, you steal the well, here you're also gonna steal this, hopefully. Okay, so because you steal that, it's actually pretty nice because when you steal that, you get like a lot less damage, but the units tend to already die by the point you actually get there. Okay, chilling team is better, Elsharion team, but maybe they also work better like without twins. But the twins have like good potential to see how far they're bruisering this boss, like just the two of them because they're tanky and that kind of stuff. So yes, I would say Elsharion, nah, I would go for the chilling. You just eat the extra damage. It's just that. You could add in like an, if you want to make it safer, you could add in like a Fran or that kind of stuff. But I'm talking speed teams over here, so the teams I would recommend to make. So if you have Martina, so the Martina version to wrap it up would be Non-Grim, With Raoq, I don't really recommend the Lushen because it's a little bit wonky. You need quite decent stats to actually make the Lushen one shot. And then Sabrina, Talia, and what's her name? Martina. Oh, one thing I didn't mention yet, and there's one catch to it. The Martina is that fast that she actually loves the like all of the units twice. That gives a lot more possibility to have Talia do more damage. Also, I make Talia move first because then Talia is attack buffed, and then like the other units can proc and drag in Talia more often. But that's something I've said in like previous videos as well. So if you don't know, you should watch those. And the other team I would go chilling with Raoq, and maybe twins or Lauren plus water Raoq, or anything. Like the water Raoq is like just optional, but I think this team is also pretty legit. Also, let's say you cannot make any of those and we step away from like the Accy lead. What is an option? It's definitely an option. Teams that are pretty decent are like Verd, Kali, Spectra slash Tyrone, and then you add in a Raoq and you add in a I forgot who was the last. Oh, and as last unit, Lauren. So with these kind of teams, this is also pretty nice team because the boss is not really gonna take a turn. You can also do the water homo. So with like these three units, you kind of make sure that the side towers don't really take a turn. With Lauren, you make sure that the middle boss doesn't get a turn, and therefore it's pretty nice as well. But these teams tend to be like quite some slower, and these are like the fast teams, so I'm liking those. So hope you learned a thing or two. Really try out, like if you can, try out the Accy lead. Accy lead is, in my opinion, so much better than the speed lead because you probably have damage dealing runes that are like decently fast, but you don't have that much damage dealing runes that also have like high Accy on the units you need. And you're not gonna build these Raoq like 65 Accy, this Raoq 65 Accy. Man, this Raoq is probably 26, and this Raoq is maybe like 15 or whatnot. And that just makes it a lot easier to actually do this. What is an option actually? You could go like what if you go like non-grim in this team? I don't know. Or maybe you keep invert, but you go chilling instead of Kali. Sure, you miss out for the attack buff. Yes, you miss out the nuke of Kali. Yes, but you do have Accy lead, which makes that Spectra, Tyrone, Raoq, Lauren, and stuff like that do not have to be that much Accy. So just things you can try it as well. If you haven't yet liked this video, it helps me out a bunch. Subscribe to the channel. I'm really appreciating like the love that I've been getting for the other like B12's videos. So if you made it this far, I highly appreciate it for that. If you would do those kind of things, and see you in the next one.